So you're wanting to become an owner-operator, and now you're looking for a business plan. Let's dive right in. So we're going to start kind of slow out of here. We're going to name out the obvious stuff, but this is a full in-depth video. So the first thing that you want to sit there and focus on is you want to think of a name and a location. So are you going to sit there and run the business out of your house? Do you have a yard you already that want to go to? Do you already own a piece of property? Figure out those two things. That is the foundation of everything. As dumb as it sounds, that is very important. Also, you want to figure out what type of freight are you going to be hauling, and are you going to do power only maybe? So you kind of want to know, if you want to go to the flatbed niche, you want to go right out and buy a flatbed. You don't want to go out here and buy a dry van or anything else if you're wanting to do flatbed. So try to narrow down what type of freight you're wanting to haul. Go out and buy the specialized equipment for that, and let's, at that point in time, get it done. I mean, if you decide you want to haul fuel after you've been doing flatbed, well, you have to go out and buy a tanker now. You can't sit there and haul fuel, obviously, on a flatbed, so make sure out the gate you know exactly what you want to do and run that route. Maybe you want to do power only. Power only is where you don't own any trailers. You just go over there and hook up your truck to their trailer, and you pull that trailer. Power only is what I personally enjoy doing. Power only is you have less liability. Hook up to somebody else's thing, just take it wherever it needs to go, drop it off, and you're done. Next one is you also want to have not only a name, but you want to have a good name. You want to have a name that people are able to memorize easily. You want to have a name that people see it and they go, oh, that guy, I think he's a truck driver. You want to be able to stand out like a sore thumb just about. You don't want to name it just Joe's Trucking Services, because what do? I mean, are you a trucking company? Are you do you just haul people that have broke down? Maybe you're a towing service, or maybe you're just a guy that comes out here and fixes people's trucks when it breaks down. So Joe's Trucking Service might not be the best name. Go ahead and find something. So the name is very, very important. Don't try to get stuck up on it too much. I mean, some people, they'll sit there and literally think about a name for a full year and won't get anything done. The name can always be changed later on. Yeah, it's a little bit of a hassle, but at least come out the gate with something just so you can start pulling freight, just so you can go ahead and start making some money. So the next one is going to be, again, what is your target market? Are you wanting to go out here and sit there and pull off of a load board? Or you want to maybe lease onto a carrier and pull just their freight alone? So at the end of the day, figure out where you want to be at and focus on that one. That way you can wrap your full business plan around that. Because there's no point in trying to figure out, are you going to go out here and go over here to Todd and Linda's furniture shop? Are you going to go over here and try to pull their freight? Are you going to go over there and try to talk them up into it? At that point in time, are you just going to sit there and focus on a load board? Maybe a load board is where you want to have all your freight coming out, or you just want to lease onto a carrier and not have to worry about anything about finding loads. You go in the morning time and they say, hey, where do you want to go? And you just pick a route and you're going over there and you're making money. Lease, in my personal opinion, is one of the easiest ways to start out. Lease, the company is already founded. They already have a good network of customers, and they will normally pay you a pretty good rate to go and run their freight. So at that point in time, it's literally just like being a company driver, except you have your own truck, and you just go out there and pull their stuff for them. Lease is my personal way that I like to go. You stay a lot more consistent with it. Other one is you want to have at least $10,000 to $30,000 saved up. $10,000 to $30,000 will get you going, unless you want to buy your own truck. And the kind of truck you're seeking out is going to have a heavy influence on how much your down payment is going to be, as well as your credit. And there's a slew of factors involved on that one. Next up, you want to do your research before you need it. So meaning that if you don't care about certain things right now, you're still in the beginning steps, and you don't want to have to deal about this later on, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years down the road, whenever your time is more consumed in everything else. So while you have time right now, go ahead and start thinking about, what am I going to do if I need to hire an employee? How much am I going to pay this employee? What is a good thing? Need to look at employee retention rate. So what's the average of what employees are doing? Do I want to pay that employee 1099? Do I want to pay him W-2? 1099, I can tell you that, most people don't like to go 1099. So now you have a problem to where you're cutting out a portion of your market because you're paying 1099 and they don't want to touch 1099. Some people it works out for, the majority it does not. So you definitely want to go ahead and do your research prior in the very beginning to figure out whenever it's time to scale up, how are you going to scale up, what's going to make your life easier. If you're not thinking about scaling up right now, you're not doing it right. Every time I have opened up a business, I have scaled up way too quicker than what I anticipated. And at that point in time, it throws a whole wrench in your productivity because now I have to go over here and still do the aspect of my business. I have to go over here and work. I have to go over here and market. I have to go over here and do customer service. I have the entire business side of things to think about for a good 14 hours of my day. And now at the end, I've got to think about, what do I need to do to sit there and alleviate this problem? Who do I need to hire? What do I need to do? Who do I need to talk to? It's just an unnecessary headache. Think about scaling up now in the very beginning, and you will not have these problems later on down the line. That is the biggest piece of advice I can tell you, because scaling up way too quick, while it is a blessing for your business, it is a terrible, terrible headache to endure. The other one, ELDs. You're going to need one in your truck. At that point in time, there are a ton of them out here. Go ahead and start doing your research now to figure out which one is going to suit your needs. And by suiting your needs, they all do the same exact thing. So figure out who is going to have the best rates for you. Figure out how much they're going to charge you to ship it to your door, how much your monthly cost is going to be for it. ELDs are the snake oil of what everybody loves selling right now, and it's the same thing, but they all sit there and try to mark you up on something else. Next one, we will go in depth more on this on another video, just because it is quite a bit to explain if you don't know what is going on, but you need to figure out how much per mile you need to run for. So what I mean by that is you need to figure out if to pay your bills, to pay your truck payment, to pay your tire fund, to pay everything that you have, you need to figure out your base dollar amount that you can run for per mile. So let's say that you need to have $1.02 per mile to cover all of your bills. At that point in time, that's what you need to sit there and run that for. It will be different for each load. To make a long story short, it's going to be different on how many miles you anticipate to run for the year. It's a bunch of math to break that all down, and therefore you get your average dollar per mile on what you need to run for to keep your doors open. You need to also set down another percentage for yourself. How much you want to pay yourself per mile. Are you going to pay yourself 30 cents a mile, 40, 50, 60 cents a mile? How much do you want to sit there and make? Biggest thing on that, while we're touching base on this, is figure out right now how much you need to make to survive. Figure out now how much all of your personal bills are. So if you have a mortgage, if you pay rent, your light bill, your internet bill, everything else, figure out all of your numbers. Then figure out how much extra do you want to make. You need to figure out how much money it takes you to live. You need to figure out your salary. What I'm saying is, if you need $3,000 to survive, to pay all your bills, to have a little bit of money in savings, and to go and see a movie if you want to, or maybe go out to eat one night a week, at that point in time, that's your salary. Just because you come out here one month and you make $8,000, you do not need to spend that entire $8,000. If you told yourself that you need $3,500 to survive, put the other $4,500 back. That way you can later on reinvest it into your business so you are able to scale up. You don't want to be stuck in the seat for the rest of your life. You need to figure out how you can sit there and buy 5 to 10 trucks, have drivers in those trucks, and you go out there to the Bahamas on vacation sipping Mai Tais while you're still getting paid. That needs to be your main focus. Always figure out how to scale up. Your other one is if you're wanting to go the get your own authority, if you're wanting to get your MC. One of the biggest pieces of advice I can tell you is do not let one customer equal more than 20% of your revenue. I see all the time out here to where guys have too many eggs in one basket. They'll come out here, they'll let somebody sit there and be the bulk majority of their operation. They will pull out of, we'll say, XYZ company. They will have them in there for about 70% of their freight. So they're making a killing off of them. The downside is they find a company who does it cheaper. Once the contract is up, they're out of there. Other company comes in, they're hauling it cheaper. What do you know? Now all of a sudden that driver has lost a bulk majority of his business, and now he's out here trying to figure out again where he can get that from. So he's out here again knocking on doors, pulling stuff off load boards, not making the money that he was used to making before, and now his business has gotten self-sufficient on the income he is bringing in, and now he cannot operate his business due to the lack of funding. Terrible spot to be in. Do not put yourself in that position. Keep yourself to 20% and below for each customer that you pull freight for. I recommend personally to have 5 clients minimum. Obviously 25 times is 100%. So try to get 5 clients. Obviously starting out it's going to be hard to go out and try to knock on doors to get clientele out there, especially if you're only a one truck operation. That's why in the very beginning I personally recommend Some may say it's shady to do this, but go off a low board, go off to a broker, go somewhere. Go out here and try to stay consistent with the carrier. In the very beginning, stay consistent. The thing is, you're going to go in there, you're going to constantly be talking to the dispatcher, or not the dispatcher, the shipping and receiving people. You're going to always see the guards over there. Maybe have a chance to meet yourself to upper management. Go over there, meet everybody. Be nice, be polite. This is still a business. I don't care if you're a truck driver, if you're in the truck all day and you think you can go places being an asshole. You cannot. You will get further in this industry killing people with kindness. The thing is that once you sit there and pull that same place for that broker consistently, everyone knows you, everyone likes you, you're always on time, you do your job well. Now it puts you in a better position to go over here to this company and tell them, be like, hey, you know what? I like you all. I want to keep on coming here. How about me and you sit down, we come up with our own numbers, and I will pull the freight for you just straight for myself. Put you in a much better marketing position, having relationships established. It is going to be very, very hard to go to XYZ company without that broker, and you going up there saying, hey, my name is George, I'm a truck driver, I'd like to pull your freight. They're going to tell you, sorry, we've already got it covered. We're good on freight. I appreciate you very much for coming on by. Have a great day. That is the biggest thing. Again, save your money, set your money aside, allocate your funding well, anticipate scaling up. Biggest piece of advice that I can give you. If you do those things and do those things well, you will succeed out here. Either way, I wish you the best. You all have a great day.